Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abigail. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, you are always the best. Thank you so much for always being here for me. So today I'll be showing you how I recreated this dress from cutting to stitching. It's an underbust overlap dress with a basque waistline. If this is something you'd like to see, kindly stay with me on this one and let's get started. To start this, you'll be needing your basic bodice pattern, and I've already gone ahead to do so. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what I have here. So from this center front line, I went out by 3 inch, that will be for the overlap. And then from the shoulder to chest line, I have 10 inches. Shoulder to bust point line, I have 12.5 inches. Shoulder to underbust line, I have 16.5 inches, and then shoulder to the waistline, I have 20 inches. So the next is dart intake, and on this dart line, I'll be taking my dart of 1.5 inches. That is to say, I'm taking 0.75 on both sides of the dart leg. So I'm going to connect with my ruler straight up to the bust point. After this, I will then proceed in drafting the armhole curve, and from this armhole line, I'm going to get the middle and then come in by 1/2 of an inch, as you can see, and take my ruler to draw my armhole curve like so. So I'm just going to take my ruler and draw a line from the shoulder slope to that 1/2 inch point, and then use my free hand to meet the bust measurement on the chest line. Next, I'll be inputting her body measurement, and for the under bust line, I have 37. Dividing that by 4, I have 9.25. I will just put that and then insert my dart intake of 1/4 of an inch. I will then proceed now to the waistline, which is also 37 inches, which I will impute the measurements down there and then replace the dart intake, as you can see me do so. And next, I'm going to connect all these points I have marked out with my curve like so. So having done all this, I'm just going to shade out this dart intake over here. So I'll be taking this out, and the next thing is to shape this dress. Now the difference of the shoulder to waistline of the front and the back is 4 inches, and I'll be taking out 3 inches from this bust point line downward like so, and the other 1 inch, I'm going to show you where to take that out from. So after marking that out, I'll take my ruler and just connect to the bust point like so, and then shade it out. Next is to determine the neckline design of this dress, and from this shoulder line, I'm going to go down by 8.5 inches for the neck depth, and for the neck width, I'm just going to mark 0.5 inches from this 3-inch mark here I already have. And the next thing I'll be doing is to take my curve to connect a line from this point to the extension on the underbust. So I have this done, and the next thing I'll be doing is to alter this neckline. Okay, this is to prevent gaping around that neckline. So from my bust point, I'm going to connect a slanting line, and from that slant line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and then draw another line to be my dart. So I'm going to shade this out because we are going to take this off. At this area, remember we mentioned that the waist, the difference of the back waistline and the front waistline is 4 inches. Okay, and I took 3 inches. Okay, the remaining 1 inches will be taken away from this waistline. I'll take it away from here, 1 inch. So I'm just going to come up by 1 inch here. Okay, so after doing that, so we have a new waistline around this side, but I'll be effecting this change when I want to get my basque line. Okay, so after the basque will be taken care of after I cut out this pattern, and I'm going to take away that 1 inch after cutting out this pattern and altering it, going where I'm supposed to go. Then I'll come back to take away this 1 inch and also construct the design for the basque effect. So that's it for the drafting of this front pattern. I'm just going to take my scissors to cut through this underbust line, and after cutting through this underbust line to close up that side bust dart, I'll be opening this waist dart like so. This will enable me to close up that side bust dart just the way you see me doing here. So you want to take your tape to secure this in place. So I'm just going to do just that, and then after doing this, I will take my ruler to smoothen that curve at the side seam like so. So that's that for now. To proceed, we'll also be taking care of this neckline dart, and I'll be taking my scissors to slash one of the dart legs like so. And after doing that, I'm going to take my tape to secure it like so. And the next thing I'll be doing is to take my curve to smoothen this neckline that has been altered. So that's that. I've taken care of this dart and also taken care of the side bust dart. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut around what we have here. So that's basically it for this part. I'm just going to set this aside and work on the basque waist. So now I lost the clip where I altered this waistline dart. So what we'll be doing is just to close up that shaded part I have here. And from that, we'll proceed to constructing the basque waist effect. So to get the basque effect, I'm going to measure 5 inches below this waistline here, that is at the base of this white pattern paper, and then connect it to the 1-inch mark I made earlier above the waistline at the side front. So after doing this, I'll take up my scissors and cut along this curve to get my basque waistline. So looking at the reference photo, you can see that along this shoulder side, there is no added fullness here. It's just fitted on the body. Where we have the fullness is only under the bust line, and from what I have here, it is just enough to create that fullness. So looking at it, you can see that the fullness is not so much, and I will not recommend you doing any slash and spread method if you want this style exactly. Okay, but if you want more fullness along the shoulder side or even on the underbust area, you can go ahead to create your slash and spread method just the way you see me demonstrating here. And to achieve the slash and spread method, this is the point where you need to do so. I'm just going to demonstrate it briefly here. Okay, so on that shoulder line, I'm going to divide it by 2 and mark the middle point, and from that middle point, connect a straight line to your bust point and slash it open. You can cut through if you want added fullness on the shoulder line, or you can just take your scissors and stop just on the shoulder line to have your fullness from just below your shoulder line to the underbust. I hope this helps. So I'm not going to be doing any of that because what I have here is just enough to recreate the style. Now, because I'm not splashing this open, I'm not going to leave that area open like so. I'm going to take my white pattern piece of paper and place it underneath, and then take up my tape to secure this down. And the next thing I'll be doing is to take up my curve and connect those two dart legs. And after doing that, I'll take up my scissors and cut along the curve. So that's all for the drafting of this front pattern. I will then proceed to the drafting of the back pattern. So I went ahead to draft out my basic back pattern according to the measurement I have here. And remember, I said that the difference between the waistline at the back is 4 inches. So I have 16 inches, which makes the front 20 inches. And of course, my client here is very busty, so I have to effect that so there will be no bulging at the back. So next is to take out my dart, and to do this, I'll measure out the bust span, and the bust span I have is 9 inch. Dividing that by 2 is 4.5. So I'll just measure 4.5 on the waistline and on the bust point line here, and take my ruler to connect it like so. And after doing that, I'll take my darts of 1 inch, that is 0.5 on both sides like so, and take my ruler to draw out my slant lines from this point to the bust point. So next, I'll be imputing the body measurement, and on this chest line, I'll go ahead and impute her bust measurement divided by 4. I'll impute that here, and also on the waistline, I'll go ahead and impute the waist circumference measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for the dart intake, and I'll go ahead and connect these points together like so. Next is to draft out the neckline for the back, and I'll be going down with a neck depth of 1 inch and a width of 3.5. So I'm going to draw that curve right there. And finally, for this back panel, I'll be eliminating the zipper bulge by coming in from the center back at the waist here by half of an inch, and then drawing a new center back line So that's all for this back panel. I'll just go ahead and label it and take my scissors and cut the back panel, as you can see here. So I have my patterns here ready, and I'll be placing this on my fabric to cut. So here are the fabrics I'll be making use of, and starting with what I have here is the lace. I have about 2 yards here, and the next thing I have here is the lining I'll be making use of. I have 1 yard, and this crepe fabric is 3.5 yards. So I'm just going to spread this out and place my patterns on them and cut. So note that while drafting this pattern, I did not add any seam allowances around it. So I'm going to effect that while cutting this pattern on fabric. So this is just me adding my 0.5-inch seam allowances around the necessary areas, and also my side seam allowance of 1.5 inches. I'm just going to quickly cut out, as you can see, and then show you all the components I have so far. So right here I have my front panel with me, and I've gone ahead to cut 2 pieces for the lining, 2 pieces for the crepe fabric, and also 2 pieces for the lace. And also here I have the back panel. I've also gone ahead to cut 2 pieces for the lining and 2 pieces for the crepe. I didn't cut for the lace because I want to join these darts. After joining the darts, I'll go ahead and cut out the lace. So here is the sleeve which I've cut out from the lace, and the next is the basque waist. I've gone ahead to cut out this unfold, the lining and the crepe fabric. So my next point of action is to work on the back panel, and what I'll be doing is to close this dart here, and to do that I'll be transferring the darts to the fabric and then head over to my sewing machine and close all these darts, give it a good press, and then place it on my lace so that I can cut the back pattern on the lace fabric. So this is the back bodice which I've gone ahead to sew on the dart and giving it a good press. So what I'm doing next is to cut out the back pattern on the lace, and after doing this I will then move over to the front panel and start the sewing process. So right now I'll be working on the front bodice, and I will take the lace fabric and place the wrong side on the right side of the crepe fabric, and I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and stitch on the edges so that I could merge these two fabrics as one. So I'll head over right now and do just that. So I'm gonna head to laminate this to stay together. Okay, so what I'll be doing next is to close up my neckline. So I'll take my fabric, right side of my lining facing the right side like so, and I'll do the same for this side. So what I want to do next is to stitch this neckline area by a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After stitching, I'll top stitch and come back to do the next step. What I'll be doing next is to run my gather. So I'm going to run a gathering stitch along the underbust line like so. So I'm going ahead to prepare this side of the front bodice. I'll be replicating whatever I did here on this side. Okay, so I'll go ahead and measure out my 3-inch extension from the pattern drafting. Okay, and then from the side I'll measure 4 inches like so. After marking that out, I'll then pull my thread to gather this stitch. Okay, so these areas where I marked out, we have little to no gathering around that side. So this is me just pulling my threads to form the fullness under the bust area. So having done this, I'll go ahead and overlap it just the way you see me doing here, and I will then take my pin to secure it right at the middle of these 2 marks I made here. Okay, so whatever I have here, I'll try as much as possible to make sure this underbust line matches up with the Basque waistband. So right now I'll take off my pattern papers and start working on this. So this is me just placing the crepe piece on the front bodice like so, right side facing each other, and also the middle notches matching. Okay, so adjust everything you want to adjust now, or you can go ahead and do that while sewing. So after making all necessary adjustments, I will then go ahead and stitch this down on a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm done sewing this. I'm going to flip this over like so and go ahead to fix the lining the same way I fixed the crepe fabric. Okay, I'm also going to make sure the middle notches are matching up, and then I'll go ahead and stitch this on a 1/2 inch seam allowance as well. So these three components can be fixed together, but I'm doing this basically for my beginners. Okay, as an advanced fashion designer or tailor, you should be able to fix all three components together at once. Next, I'll be working on the back pieces, and what I'll be doing is to turn the neckline and the zipper area with this lining on a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then proceed to top stitch. After doing this, I will then prepare the skirt that I'll be joining to this top part. So for the skirt part, I've gone ahead to cut 3 rectangular pieces, and these pieces will be what I'll be joining to the top part. So go ahead to measure the waist circumference around this front area, and then multiply it by the ratio that will give you the fullness that you desire. Okay, note that this fullness depends on the quantity of fabric you have and the weight of your fabric. Okay, so for me, I have just enough to make that gathering to obtain the fullness as desired by my client. So I went ahead to measure the front waistline here and multiplied it by a ratio of 2.5. That will give me the total width of what I'll be gathering. And now for the length of the skirt, go ahead and minus the half length from the full length of the dress. And for me, I had 48, which is the full length of the dress, minus 20 inches, that is the shoulder to waistline. I had 28 plus 1.5 inches, and that will be for joining on the waistline and hemming. So I'll repeat the same thing at the back piece. So go ahead, measure what you have here and multiply it by 2.5 by the length I explained earlier. So right now I'll go ahead and run the gathering stitches on the waistline of the skirt part, and then proceed to join it to the top bodice. So I have my front and back pieces ready, and at the back piece you can see that I've already gone ahead to join my zipper. So what I'll be doing next is to join the shoulder seams and go ahead to close the side seams and fix the sleeve. And finally, for this dress, I'll go ahead to hem it and then come back to show you the final look. So this is the final look of the dress. I went ahead to fix the sleeve, and as stated, I joined the side seam, hem the dress, and also giving it a good press. You can see how lovely this turned out to be on my client. The fitting was everything she wanted and she loved it. You can see the happy dance and the smile on her face. So with this, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, share this video to someone who might find this tutorial helpful, and subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do so. And lastly, I want to take out time to appreciate my 500 plus family here. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I see all that you do, and your time and engagement on this channel means a lot to me. So that's the end of this tutorial for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.